Let's talk. Hi guys, welcome to Let's Talk. I'm Romani.
I'm Sharon.
I'm Anise.
And I'm Alicia.
And this is a podcast about what it's been like growing up as young mixed race girls in society today. So my first question for you guys is has there been a particular experience that you've had that has really made you think or made you really comprehend I'm mixed race?
Yeah, I think one of the times, especially because me and Romani go to the same school, so we can both kind of resonate with this. The office ladies mixing us up a lot, and I mean abnormal amount of times. It's absurd.
Concerning.
It's concerning
To say you're in a school setting.
Yeah,
I would have really thought you
differentiate kids.
It's not hard.
You see a lot of different faces every day. I think you should be able to tell some apart.
Exactly. But, I don't think me and Sharon look similar at all.
At all. I don't think we look similar at all. But so they'll always mix up our names. I remember one time I was in the hub, the competing area basically, and I was going to grab a chair from another table, and these people, one of the office ladies was like, "Oh, hi Romani," and I had my headphones on, so I wasn't really clocking what she was saying, yeah. And I was like, She was like, "Hi Romani, are you alright?" And I'm like, I'm not Romani. And it's just little situations like these, and I'm like, do we look that similar and I'm not clocking it, or is it genuinely a thing where people just can't tell the difference between mixed race people?
I remember in high school, this is when I was maybe year 8, I was feeling ill, so I was like, I can't do it. I'd been told, go to the office, go home. And the mum was like, "Okay, I'm ringing your mum, Sharon." And I could see her picking up the phone, dialing the number. I was like, "Whoa, I am not Sharon." And I think to me that was crazy, because I was I'm a whole different child. You've not asked me for my, even if it sounded rude, I thought she could have asked for my name, because if she'd actually gone and called Sharon's mum, there would have been a massive confusion.
That would have been a big problem.
And I think it's something so easy that someone could have made that little bit of extra effort.
I was just going to say, I think it's the efforts.
Effort. People need to start putting in effort.
It's not even it's effort either.
It's not even effort. It's literally not common sense, but it's normal human etiquette.
Yeah,
it's normal human
to
etiquette,
learn someone's
guys.
name is the first thing to knowing someone. It is the first step to getting to know someone. Honestly. And if you can't do that, what are you doing?
Honestly,
don't know what made her decide that in that moment she just that is Sharon, 100% that's Sharon. She looks like Sharon, so it must be her. I'm going to call her mum.
Yeah. Have you guys got any other experiences that you've gone through?
I would say. What was the original question?
The original question was times where you've been hyper aware that you're mixed race and really realised it, I guess.
I feel like there's a lot of times where even in my own family, it's you've got one side telling you you're too much of this, and the other side telling me that I'm too much of the opposite. And
so you mean
black
and white? Yeah.
So it's that made me very aware that there's a difference, and people it's it singles you out, and that shouldn't be a thing in the first place.
It's weird to think they're just looking at you as if you're two different people.
And it's I'm one person. Yeah. I'm actually one person. I'm not two different people. You're treating me like I've got two different personalities. I'm actually the same person.
It feels like you're being objectified. You are this and you are that.
And it's just, in my opinion, it's unnecessary. I'm a person, and if you were singled out for that or similar things, you would feel away and you would say something about it. So
real.
And also, I feel another situation that slightly made me aware of it in that type of way it's my hair, really, because obviously my mum, she doesn't have my hair type, so it's not that she can't do hair, she can do my hair, but there's certain times where there's certain things like that I'm not going to learn from a white woman, and that's obviously no, my mum's not going to take offence to that, but it can be quite hard, and when you realise it's in that same scenario where people are telling you you're not enough of this or you're too much of that, where it's who was supposed to show me this stuff? Nobody was there. Yeah. But it's that's not something that's not my problem.
And I feel there's a lot of young girls right now who probably have felt the way we did. Because honestly, I think starting this whole thing made me more aware that other people and young, not even young girls, young children are experiencing this and having these questions. That's why I think it's important to have a space where it's being talked about.
Especially because we all have white mums and living with one white person. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's no issue or something. Like, I love my mum with all my heart and everything, but it's hard to know, like, what to do in certain situations.
Yeah.
And especially when people are telling you, oh, you're not good at this and it's because you're not black enough. Like, how do they expect you to learn from that, and how do they expect you to get better at certain things when you don't have that role model?
And
Yeah.
what does it say to them about what they consider as black enough or what they consider as white enough? They're kind of throwing these stereotypes, which I feel like we're kind of judged to fulfill almost.
Yeah.
Like, to them, it seems like the idea of someone being mixed race is just incomprehensible. We're not. At the end of the day, we're all just human.
Yeah.
I feel when I was younger, my mum told me a story about how we were in South England and we were in a shop, and I was only about 3 at the time. So I looked up to my mum and I was like, oh, mummy. And this old man just came up and he was like, that is not your mother, because he simply couldn't, I don't know why he couldn't comprehend that my mum could have a mixed race child, and it seemed to baffle him and confuse him. And I generally just don't understand why. And I think, obviously, when I was younger, I didn't have consciousness of it, but when mum told me that story, that was the first time I'd properly heard an experience like that, because I feel like when you're younger, you know, kind of like 6 or 7, you really don't process it in that type of way. And I feel like it's a thing that you often reflect on when you get older.
Yeah, also, just for context, guys, because this has been brought up twice, all of us, this wasn't like something that we kind of planned. We all have white mums.
Yeah.
this wasn't like something that we was like, you can be on the podcast because you have a white mum. No, we just like,
it's just
convenient coincidence
Yeah.
have all white mums.
And I think
yeah,
that definitely makes that experience a little bit different, especially being a girl, not to stereotype that girls usually more close with their mothers, but I think from what I know about these girls around me, we typically are. So having like a motherly figure who's someone you look up to, it's definitely does have an impact.
Can I say something about a similar experience of in school at one point when I was in school, it became a rumour that I was adopted because same type of thing. They couldn't comprehend that I had a white mum and I'm not white. And at the time, that comment didn't hurt me because I understand ignorance and uneducated are 2 different things, which they were both.
Definitely.
But it makes you very aware of the fact that people have so much audacity to feel so entitled to that opinion and to have to let you know and make you feel a way about it.
Yeah.
When,
The fact
like
they
I was
start-
saying, that it doesn't matter, that shouldn't matter.
And the fact they started a rumour about it and not, I feel like there's a lot of prejudice about it. Like, they've got that predetermined idea about you and that's it. That's like end of. There's no, I don't really feel like there's much of an effort to really find out.
And it's so, like, you've got to deep as well. There's so much more to people than that, because that's just the outside layer.
Yeah.
It's simple, like, to say, because in that experience, I moved to a new school, so I'm young, I'm like all these new people, and the first thing that they're bringing up is that, and it's like, you haven't even tried to get to know me. And it's not like they've said I'm a bad person or anything, but it's like that's your first thought to make. And obviously we were all young, they were a child, they could have just been uneducated, which I understand, but it's not about that.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is? Because if you're uneducated, then everybody is a product of their environment, so it's about teaching better, and especially young people.
Real, especially like since kids are like, especially young kids, they are like a big image of their parents, like, because the primary socialization that kids have is
Sociology.
Sociology is really kicking in here. But yeah, so like the primary socialization, like they only know what their family has taught them, I guess. So it's like it kind of, your child reflects on your whole family and what your morals are, what you think.
Yeah.
And I just think
think people don't realise that their kids reflect an image of them. So if you're teaching your kids to be racist or to be ignorant or to just think certain things about people that aren't true, that is a direct reflection of you. And certainly in schools, if you're in a school environment and you're being like that to someone, you cannot tell me the teacher is not going to pick that up and be like, who's teaching them this? Because it wasn't me. And it was their parents, and it is always the parents are the root of everything about it. Like, teach your kids to not be ignorant and to know things.
I also think that like teachers play a part in it, because I feel like teachers themselves have a level of ignorance, kind of similar to the story I shared. It's like, if teachers are aware, I feel like teachers should be more, there needs to be something done to be more aware of what they're hearing and what they're challenging. I feel like, for example, that I know the teacher that called Sharon Romani, she apologised, which is good, but I don't see why there isn't something in place. But it's just crazy to think that has to be.
Real,
Like,
like, is that like, do people need to really take a course on normal human etiquette?
yeah, or just
Or how to be aware about people that are like different races? Like, is that something that we really need to implement in this society?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's looking like. But that it's a thing where it shouldn't have to be like that. But unfortunately, that I mean, that's the world we live in, I guess.
Can I just say as well? Like I was saying, to do with educating specifically young people as well. It's very much like the power of the tongue is a very real thing.
Yeah.
And that affects everybody and everything around you. You create your reality, so you've got to think, if you've got kids, you've got that that is, like I said, uneducated and ignorant are two different things entirely.
100%.
And you've just got to think about what you're doing more and saying.
Yeah, I think, sorry to cut you off, but I feel like, especially in a school setting, a lot of these people, we're young, our minds are still fragile, we're taking that information in and we're thinking, you know what, is there something wrong? I think especially like through that whole, from, I say about year 4 all the way up until the end of A-levels, we're so hyper aware of what we think, what other people think about us. And I think there's a danger of that comes around. I know this is like generally speaking, but yeah, I just think it's crazy that we still have to comprehend this.
Yeah, I just think that there is a lot done. Well, no, there's not a lot done, but there is more done to educate people about being white and being black, but there isn't. It's almost like people don't know what to do when they come across a mixed person.
Yeah.
Because they just haven't been taught, like, what do I do with that? That's different. That's something I don't know.
Yeah.
So instead of going and learning about it, people say stuff and they do stuff.
And they assume. They ask questions that are so out of order.
Yeah.
And that's something that people really, really, really need to work on, because it is not cute,
It's not.
guys. It is not cute. Not cute.
Even in PE, I remember when I have, obviously it's slicked back now, but when I have my hair out, it's a bit bigger. But I was in PE and I slicked my hair back because, you know, sometimes it can be agitating having your hair out. I think that goes for anyone. Yeah. And my PE teacher comes up to me, she's like, what's changed? What's changed? And she's staring at me in my face, and I was like, "That I don't understand how you can be so ignorant right now. Like, it's not that big of a change. Everyone changes their hairstyle. You see people with straight hair changing their hairstyles, putting it up in a bun, and you're not asking these same questions. You're saying, oh, your hair looks nice. But you're just, they're staring at me in my face.
Also, I have... Go on first, sorry.
It's the same thing as like singling out again, because like you said, they're not asking other people them questions. So it's like you have to have they think you have to have an answer for that, and it's like one, I don't owe you that. Two, like you said, it's the singling out. It's just not, it don't make sense.
Yeah. Also, guys, I have like a big question, because since we're mixed, our hairs are different to everyone else, different to completely black, different to completely white. So like, how has your hair experience been? Because obviously growing up with white mums, as like some of you said, like having a white woman has a major influence on how our entire lives, and they haven't grown up with curly hair, so they don't have the exact same experience and don't know how to treat our hair how we're meant to, essentially. So like, what's your experiences been with that?
I think my mum has been pretty good. Yeah, I think
I'd agree.
She's taken some tips from my dad, but always when I was growing up, she taught me that my hair was beautiful and that leaving it out and keeping it out was healthy and natural, and that is like, so I feel like I see a lot of people, and like, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with slick hair. I do my hair slick all the time, but I think some people are scared to leave their natural hair out because they're scared of what people are going to think.
I think that comes with being mixed race as well.
But I see my hair as just like beautiful. Like, I love my hair.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have definitely learned some new techniques. Like, I've literally just washed it today, and I do a lot of different things that I learned from my own knowledge. And
your curls look amazing.
They do.
But yeah, I think a lot of it was my mum, and she was actually really just helpful.
I'd agree. I think my mum has been very supportive, but at the same time, I think there's a level of frustration that I'd get, not even directly at my mum.
And there's only so much she can do.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do, and there's not, and you go on YouTube and you're trying to figure out what hair type you have, and I guess it's the fact that you're solely independent in that process.
Oh my god, that hair type thing had me stressing, guys. I'm like, but like the back of my hair is like 3 feet, and the front looks like 3A. Like, what are we doing here? What are we dealing with?
I feel like, I don't know, it's very complex. I say I've only really started looking after my hair once. I think finding the right hairdresser is a massive thing, because I remember once when I was young, I went to a hairdresser. She was like, the description said, oh, she's a curl specialist, she's won awards, She got in, she sat on my phone, she was like, why is her hair like that? Why does it look like that? Why is it not combed?
Sorry.
I know. And I just thought, you're meant in your professional setting, you're claiming to be one thing, but when you're dealing with the situation at hand, it's like, I think there's very much a thing as it's very romanticized, but when it gets to it, you don't want to deal with it.
They're not backing up the words.
And then she proceeded to, like, she was ragging my hair, she was combing it, she didn't know what products to put in it. She was like, well, I can't do it. So then I had to end up leaving.
I can't do it. It's crazy.
And she didn't even do my hair. And I'm very, very grateful for my hairdresser that I have now. Shout out to Chantel. I absolutely love her. And I feel like finding the right hairdresser is so essential, because it makes you feel so much more confident, because I know for ages I didn't want to wear my hair out because I'd be conscious like, this part isn't moisturised, or this bit's a different length, or this is like that. And it can feel so isolating and so frustrating. Like, guys, when I tell you, I cry over my hair.
Oh,
my God.
The crying over your hair is this realist thing.
Do you know what I cry over? You know when you feel like, how can I spend 2.5 hours washing my hair today?
Yeah.
I have no energy. Where is the energy?
Girl, because I was meant to wash my hair this morning. Didn't look like I washed my hair. No.
Do you know what? It's hard. And I think as well, it doesn't even have to be like a hairdresser. Like, it can be any type of role model. Like, I see a lot of people like on TikTok being like, oh, how I do my washing, or how I do blah, blah, blah. And I take a lot of knowledge from that, thinking not even like just products, but just how other people like style their hair is very helpful for me, I would say, more even than a hairdresser, because I haven't been to the hairdresser in how long. My hair needs a trim. It needs a trim.
Yeah. And I feel like the like advertisement of curly hairdressers that like specialize in curly hair needs to be bigger, because I didn't know curly hairdressers existed until about 2 years ago, and I'm like, wait a minute, somebody can do my hair, somebody can cut my hair. Like, I feel like that's something that definitely I think that we need more in the UK. Number one, for starters, we need more awareness of it, because there's so many people out here damaging their hair, and then like it gets to a point where their hair is so damaged and then they need to cut the whole thing off, and it's like, but you could have avoided that by going to a curly hairdresser in the first place. But then, did you go through that as well?
Twice.
Twice. God. But yeah, I feel like it's a thing that just, it needs to be more out there. We need more of them. We need more awareness of it.
And I think to parents of mixed race children, if you know, I think making that effort really means a lot. Like, I know my mum did loads of reading up about it. She was looking at what products are good for my hair, what are not. And I feel like that effort, I feel like if you are going to have a child, no matter what the hair is, but if you're going to have a mixed race child, it's making that effort to do it and not trying to be like, oh, well, I don't know what to do. Then, I'm going to take you to the hairdresser. Oh, this hairdresser doesn't know what to do. Because I know a lot of people, I feel like parents get frustrated as well on a level, which I understand. But like we were saying earlier, it's how you project that onto your child, because if you see your parent looking frustrated, you're going to question what's wrong with me? Am I unfixable? What's wrong with my hair? Is there something that can't really be changed?
Yeah. Can I share 2 things?
Yeah,
one,
100%.
Like you said, no matter what hair your child has, I think what also can make it more difficult, see, 2 mixed people can have the same hair type, but everybody's hair is different. So what works for one person might not work for another. So that I can also understand that in frustration, because it's like, well, they said this works and that, and like it's not. There's a lot more effort you have to put into it because of the individuality, and also in answer to your original question, to do with my experience with hair, I think one thing, my mum always, like you said, there's only so much she can do because she's not used to that. But she always tried her best, and she did. She learned, she read, she was always open-minded. But like you said, again, there's only so much she can do. And there was a point where I realised that majority of the time, don't get me wrong, I do like wearing my hair out, but majority of the time, I'm throwing on my gel and I'm going. I'm
Real.
sticking it back, I'm
That's
out.
so real.
And it's like, but that's not what I really want to be doing. And it's like, obviously that happens sometimes, but it was realising how often I did that. But one thing I think played a massive part in that was when I was in school in year 6 and year 7, I moved to Bradford, and the school I was in was 98% Asian, and I was I think there was only 2 to 3 black people in my year group, and I was one of them. And the experience of, it's like they'd never seen somebody like me before, and I was like, I'm a human. Like, it felt like I wasn't human. Like, they made it such a thing.
Like alienated.
Yeah, and like when I say, see how normally people come and touch your hair, and it's like, I didn't say you could touch it. They used to do so much more than that. They would literally grab my hair and pull it, like as in my head is basically on the floor.
Sorry.
No, but like it was so audacious, and normally, like I said, I would check you for that, but because all of them were doing it, I'm wasting my breath. And I can say that I had one of the, like, that knocked my confidence so bad.
I think in settings, I think as particularly in settings where you don't really see yourself, it can feel so hard to speak up about it, because I feel like sometimes people are very quick to demonize. I think people of colour in general, whenever they speak up about something, like I know some of my friends don't really challenge what some of their friends, like the comments that they're receiving, because it's quite easy to be demonized and deemed as, oh, well, it's not, you're my friend, I'm just joking, but you don't see us like making them types of jokes about you. I feel like friendship gets misguided with this weird sense of comfortability, and it's same with that entitledness that they believe comes with friendship to begin to ask questions.
Sometimes you've not even formed a friendship. That's why I was saying it's audacious, because you don't know me. You haven't even bothered to get to know me.
I feel like
you're commenting on what you see.
The thing in public of people just touching your hair, I find baffling. I went for food with a friend. We went to this Greek place, and I'm part Greek myself, so I already felt quite comfortable there. I was excited to go, and the first thing that the waitress did is she sat down, she grabbed my hair from the back, and she like put her hand in it. And this has not happened to me in a few years, so because it used to happen a lot when I was younger as well, which is crazy to say because I don't hear any of my other friends telling me these stories like this. And she grabbed it and she was asking me all these, bombarding me with questions, and I feel like she made the fact that I was different bigger than anything else. She didn't consider I was a customer or anything. That wasn't her initial thought. Her initial thought was, I'm going to grab this person's hair. She started asking me how I wash it and stuff, like I was some different species. So I was looking at like normally.
And I think that can completely take away the experience, a lot of people's experiences from what it's supposed to be. Because like you said, you went there for food. What if you could have had the worst day in your life? She don't know that, and she don't need to know that, but her God, my brain's gone blank. Right, sorry. Yeah, you could have been having the worst day, and all you needed was to go get some food. And obviously she's not obligated to know that. There's nothing wrong with asking questions, but it's when they make that your whole identity almost. It's like, I didn't come here for that. Like, and you wouldn't have made it seem like I came here for that if I didn't look like this or I wasn't this. So it's not fair.
Yeah.
I think that, like, it is so hard to stand up to someone when they genuinely think that that is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's different if someone's, like, calling you a slur from across the street, because the guy knows that's wrong. But, like, when someone is literally like, oh, this is just fine. Like, what do you mean it's wrong? Like, I'm usually quite good at standing up to people. And communicating. But the thing is, the amount of people that have come up to me and touched my hair, and like, if it's one person, like, I'll be like, I'm not a dog. Don't touch me.
Yeah,
like, don't pet me. I'm not a flipping animal. Like, get away.
And I feel like there's a almost power dynamic created, especially like with, you know, teachers and stuff in those positions. It gets blurred.
Real, literally, sorry, this happens so many times. I've had my hair's looking good, and just another day my hair's out. And then teachers are like, oh my God, your hair looks so nice. What do you do? Is that your real curls? Is that your real hair? Is that real? And I'm like,
oh my God, it's so real.
Yes, my hair's real. And then they're like grabbing it. Do you know what? I actually did for my, what's it called? The English speech for GCSE.
Yeah, the
English speech. I did mine about people touching my hair and how I feel like I'm a petting zoo. Because I am not a pansy, guys. I'm actually a 16-year-old girl. Like, come on now, let's decorum.
Literally.
But yeah, no, especially like even like one of my friends, we was going out of science, we was waiting for the class to end. Well, the class had ended. We was waiting to be let out of the class, and the teacher like grabbed, because she had like braids in. Actually, no, she had butterfly locks in. Grabbed her hair and was like, "Oh my god, how long did it take to do this? Is it not heavy?"
That's a question.
And I just looked at her face,
my
and I was
God.
like, Did that just happen?" And she's like, "Yeah, I've gotten used to it at this point." And I'm just like, "But you shouldn't have to get used to it."
Literally.
Yeah. I think it's a bit different because I'm younger. Like, I'm 12 years old. I'm turning 13 soon. But, like, I think that people, especially when you're younger, I get it, people don't know. But when you get to this age, there should be a knowledge. Like, whether your parents have taught you or not, I'm pretty sure you've been taught, keep your hands to yourself. Is that not like the first thing your parents
You
teach
even get taught that in nursery, bro.
Yeah.
You get taught to share, and you get taught keep your hands to your damn self. Like,
This is what I meant when I said ignorance and uneducated are two different things.
Yeah.
Stop.
real.
Stop. Because like
Exactly.
you said, there is an age. You've obviously been taught certain things. You've been decorum, basic manners.
And you're in an
whatever.
environment where that's expected.
Even like, for example, my own family, there's times, I'm not gonna like say who, but from my white side of my family, there's been times where they've literally seen me with my hair out as opposed to slip back. Oh, is this a wig? Hands in my hair, everything. That's my family. I understand. If I was to have said to that person who did that, I don't like that, that makes me feel away, she would have stopped. That's uneducated, not ignorant.
Yeah.
Whereas if you say to them, this is this, or this don't feel right, or it makes me feel like this, and they can't, like you said, they can't comprehend that they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's ignorance, because it just don't make sense.
Yeah. I feel like we've covered a lot today, guys.
Yeah.
So this was
What actually happened?
We've covered a lot.
Been speaking.
Yeah.
Speaking.
There will be specific episodes coming out. We've got a range of topics we're willing to discuss. And if you guys have any topics you would like us to discuss, please let us know. But this has been Let's Talk. I've been Romani.
I've been Sharon.
I've been a niece.
I've been Alicia.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.